All rise. Court is now in session for the Honorable Judge Rod Thompson.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
We're here because of a case of Mr. Felix is seeking a divorce from Mr. Brock. He wants him out of his life because he states that Mr. Felix borrowed a watch worth over $20,000. Mr. Felix claims that when he gave his watch to Mr. Brock, he was to return it, but it was lost. Mr. Brock claims that it was lost at a wedding. Mr. Felix states that he heard from a family friend that Mr. Brock sold the watch to purchase a car. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So a few days after that, Mr. Brock says that he lost the watch, and that the car didn't come from the watch being sold or whatnot. So he's denying that claim. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. So Mr. Felix, you claim that Mr. Brock's been residing with you for the last 2 years.
Yes.
Since Mr. Brock being released from prison?
Yes, staying inside my house, doing everything.
Okay.
Just disrespecting me and running over me.
Okay. You asked for compensation for taking care of your cousin for the last 2 years?
Everything. For everything.
Okay. All right, so before we get into this proceeding, we first need to ensure that you guys understand what's going to happen here. I'm going to decide whether or not you guys are going to divorce or reconcile this relationship. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to try to get down to the facts. I'm going to ask some questions, and I want you guys to really explain to me what's going on so that I can make the final conclusion on what is right in this case here. So I can decide if there's any compensation or if there's anything that also needs to be added to this case. So, Mr. Felix, we're going to start with you with this whole story about this watch. What kind of watch was this?
It was a gold Rolex with diamonds in it. Not a plain Jane, diamonds in it. It was a bust down.
Okay, so Rolex watch, if I'm correct. And
From Icebox.
From Icebox.
Yes.
And this Rolex watch, it was valued at $20,000, is that correct?
Yes, $20,000.
Okay.
And my cousin right here stole it.
Okay, you say he stole it. Now, you let him borrow it? How did this?
He was going to a wedding, and then he asked me, can he borrow it? I let him borrow it. He said he was going to give it back. I haven't seen it since then.
Okay, and how long were you supposed to let him borrow that watch?
Just for that one day. That one day turned into forever.
All right, so it was one day. Mr. Brock was supposed to, after this wedding, return the watch back to you.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me, how did you learn after the one day that something happened to the watch? I mean, did Mr. Brock ignore you?
My best friend right here, she told me that he was with her and that he was spending money on her and that he told her that he sold the watch.
Don't believe that trick.
Okay.
This
so,
is my best friend. She would never lie to me.
Okay, so you got a witness.
That's a flip.
All right, so I'm going to want to hear from this witness in a second.
Man, we ain't got to hear from her, man. She ain't even trustworthy for real, man.
Whatever.
Man, she the bust down with the homies.
All right, Mr. Brock, I definitely, I'm going to give you an opportunity. So one other thing too, Mr. Felix, I want to ask you, you also state that he had been living with you for 2 years since he got out of prison.
Paying no bills, eating my food.
Wow, that's
everything.
a story we tell a
He
lot.
puts no food into my house. He takes everything. All he does is abuse me. I really just want him to be gone for real. After he stole my watch, I have nothing. He steals from me. He steals everything. He got to go.
All right, so was there? Okay, I understand because a lot of times people go to prison, they have to rely on family members to to come back to. But it seems like there's some things that you guys were doing beforehand before Mr. Brock went to prison. So I'm gonna
Ain't trying to tell that part, Your Honor.
So did y'all have like a lease agreement? Was there any type of contract that he was supposed to pay any bills or anything like that? Did y'all have something in place to say, hey, you're supposed to pay this S amount of dollars or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay, so how much was he supposed to pay every month?
$200 every month.
And how much do you pay for rent now?
I pay $1,200.
$1,200?
Yes.
And so at this time, Mr. Brock has paid absolutely nothing for the last 2 years?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay. All right, so...
And $1,200 is my mortgage, because I don't rent my house, I own my house. $1,200 is my full mortgage.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Brock, Mr. Felix states that he allowed you to borrow a Rolex watch worth over $20,000 for 1 day. So I want to give you the opportunity to tell your side of the story so that we can kind of understand what happened. So if you can allow us to hear what facts that you can bring, and then we'll go from there.
Man, borrowing that Rolex was the worst thing I done did since I got arrested. First time I done put a suit on in 10 years. I had finally got me a suit, some nice shoes. So I think, man, I'm gonna go hit my cousin up. He got a nice little timepiece I can wear. So I hit my cousin up, I got the timepiece. He said, all right, cool. Man, I pull up to the wedding. It's in the hood. Ray Bunetta getting married. Lil Peasy running around. But I see some folks, I don't know, I'm in the wrong hood. I ain't got no colors on, but I mean, shit, if you done been in prison with me, you know. But I get over there. Dude I had a problem with in prison, woo. Dude jump out the back of the whip. Man, I get my ass beat. Getting stomped in for a Rolex. I ain't even get to work for more than an hour. They ran off. And I dipped out. And that was it. I came home a couple days later, suit messed up. I come in the house, he talking to me about the dogs. Talking about the dogs and shit on the floor. Dogs done tore up his carpet. Man, I ain't been home all day. I'm missing a tooth. I done got my drawers ripped running from another dog. I done sat up here tried to catch Marta back, and I'm gonna sit up here looking like a J, and he wanna come up here and talk about these motherfucking dogs. Man, damn them dogs. You keep talking about me about them dogs, I'm finna be my Vic. I ain't finna be no more dogs.
Wasn't some of them dogs yours too?
Oh, the whole house was mine, but I'm gonna let you talk about that before we get into it.
Oh,
Because while you talking about this $1,200 house you got, back when I was flipping bricks and you was working at Family Dollar, you wasn't worried about nothing.
That's his responsibility.
No, that's my house, homie. Let's tell the truth. That's my
He bought
house.
the dogs from my grandma's house. He went to Ian's house and got the dogs. He done bought them over my house.
That ain't even your house.
Tearing my house up.
That ain't your house.
Come on now.
If we finna tell the whole truth, you know you ain't had no money to be paying $1,200 in mortgage before I got arrested.
Okay, so Mr. Brock, so you're stating that when you borrowed this watch, you wore it to the wedding, and at the wedding there was an incident where there was a couple of individuals that you was engaging with, and that's how the watch came up missing. So
yeah, some dude named Mario. And Lil Fruit.
This is exactly why I don't hang around trash.
And him, you is trash. You living my whole life right now. Without these last 4 years, you wouldn't be living in no house. Talking about wearing no Rolex. The first time you got a Rolex, I bought your first Rolex.
Lies.
Okay, so
Back when you were still putting Payless shoes on layaway.
Mr. Brock, so at that time, so when you left the wedding, you didn't have the watch anymore because Mr. Mario relinquished you of that watch. Is that what you're saying right now in front of the court?
Yeah, it was either my life or the watch. So I gave him the watch.
Okay, so at that time, did you call the police or anything like that? Was there any report made of this watch?
Nah, dog, when you done been in prison, you can't be calling police for little stuff like that.
But Mr. Brock, you're no longer in prison anymore.
No, but when you a felon and you done had a couple run-ins with the police. See, Yana, I used to flip dope. Man, Yana, he living my life, man. Before them 4 years came, I was the only reason he knew what a Rolex looked like, had put on his wrist. He was living off my dime. Him and his mama was getting money from me weekly. Before he came up on any money, before he got off food stamps, before he moved out his mama house, before he learned how to wash his drawers and cook his own food, back when we was living in the projects and I was the one putting food in the refrigerator, this was my life. I put you through college. Did you remember them days when you was getting refund checks and I was telling you keep your check cause you needed it, cause you needed to eat? Oh, cause you had the meal plans that I paid for that was 20 meals a week when you was eating the real good stuff and we was back up here on ramen and Vienna sausages. Back when we was splitting the Big Mac 3 ways with the fries and not getting no drink for the night. Them nights when we was sitting out there on the corner and you was over there on the west side with the white folks, when y'all was running around having toga parties and you were talking about trying to join fraternities and hitting on all the good stuff that we thought we dreamed about. Back when we was watching them ICDC college commercials on BET, talking about that can be me.
Nigga, I don't even know how you say you take care of me. You did time, you trapped and did all that stuff. As soon as your black ass went to jail, nigga, I got straight to scamming, nigga. I started hitting 20 bands a day. I was so glad when they took your black ass to jail, nigga. Nigga, they need to take your ass back to jail so you can get the fuck out of my house.
Bruh, the only
nigga.
reason.
Nigga, bruh, I got straight to the money. As soon as you got out my house, nigga, I got straight to the money, nigga. Chanel bags, Mercedes, Gucci watches. You see it, nigga. You see the life I'm living, nigga.
So why
you
had to go
steal
away
my
for you to
Rolex,
have that
nigga.
life?
Nigga,
Why I had
bro,
to go away?
You a bum. You don't got no money. That's exactly why you had to steal
Wow.
my Rolex. That's what we here for today. We here for the Rolex. We not here for none of that other shit, nigga. That shit is dead, nigga. We here for my Rolex, nigga. And that's the only thing I want to talk about. Diamond and bezel Rolex. That's what the fuck I want back right now, nigga. And I want it right now, bro. For real, for real.
Mr. Felix, I understand you got a witness, so why don't we bring the witness up at this time? Ma'am, for the courtroom, can you state your name, please?
Yes, my name is Yosha Hurd.
AKA bust down the whole hood, done touched it.
Whatever, that's not what you were saying when you wanted some.
That wasn't what you were saying when you were sucking on it neither.
Okay, so, all right, we're gonna try to keep this, clear and respectable. All right.
I thought you were finna say professional, because if you was gonna say that, you was gonna have to pay her $20 first.
40, anyway.
Oh, she worked for 3.5. Jesus Christ.
All right, so we want.
Don't talk about my friend like that.
All right,
Hey man, your friend be busting.
Let me get some clarity here. So
My
I want to
bad,
hear from the
man.
witness so that we can get down to the facts, because there's definitely a lot going on with you two, and I just want to hear what the witness have to say before I proceed further with what needs to be done. So let's hear.
Your Honor, I wouldn't listen to nothing that he has to say. He has always been jealous of my best friend. Everything that my best friend has, he's always wanted. And he always is taking advantage of and using him. I told him he should have put him out, but he was the only one that would take him in when he got out of jail. Nobody wanted him around because every time he's around, bad things happen.
She speaking like she know the truth, but she don't really know nothing.
Whatever.
Go ahead, proceed.
He sold the watch, Your Honor, and he showed up with a new car, and he took me in the car and told me that he took the watch.
So what kind of car was this that he pulled up in?
It was a 2020 Nissan Altima.
Your Honor, that's a lie. I used to sell dope. I know damn well I don't get in new cars. Police already know me. I don't keep no new stuff on me.
Okay, so Miss, you saying there was a Nissan Altima,
Yes.
and he picked you up in it. So,
Your Honor, that don't even sound right. She's driving Nissan Altima. Her front hub kept missing.
okay, so thank you for the information, Mr. Brock. I appreciate that. All right, so you're saying that he picked you up. So are you guys friends, or were you friends before this situation? How did you guys?
He
know
always
each other?
trying to get with my friend right here. He always
Basically.
doing that. He be in my house, walking through my house, ask for my friend number. You live with me. At the end of the day, he just trying to get with my friend. My friend is not finna be with him though.
Your
She don't
friend
want him.
already been with me and she a cheap date.
She don't want you,
Whatever.
boy. Bye.
Whatever, you weren't saying that. I rented that 2020 Nissan Altima and took it right back to Enterprise that next morning after I dropped you off after your little $4 Waffle House meal.
That's not what
I
you
took
said.
it on back.
That's not what you said when we was on the date. Though.
You right,
That's
but
not
you
what
was
said when you
sucking
wanted
me
to pull up.
So my question is, at the
my
time, did he
goodness,
tell
this
you
one's
that he bought the Nissan Altima, or he's saying that he rented it? So did you?
No,
for
Your
sure.
Honor. He said to me that he bought the Nissan Altima. He said he came up on some money, and he was able
From,
to get a new car.
from selling my watch.
And so when you put two and two together, his watch was missing. You come up with a new car. You sold the watch. You a liar.
Your Honor, I have the Enterprise receipt right here. It was $57.92. That was with tax, no insurance. And I made sure that I kept the receipt because I knew this little thieving person right here was going to say I stole from him.
Your Honor,
He done
has
stole
a
my
felony.
whole
How did
life.
How did he rent a car himself with a felony?
I I can rent a car with a felony. I can't
You went
vote.
and bought a cash
I
car.
can't vote.
You
I
went and
can't
bought a
drink
cash
alcohol.
car.
I
You are
can't
such
smoke
a
weed. I can't be
liar.
around strippers.
You are such
But
a
I can
liar,
definitely rent a car.
period. Don't listen to
Okay,
that
so
man.
what I want to find out is, okay, so after he picked you up in the vehicle, you guys went and hung out, and somewhere along the line, did he ever indicate at all that he, bought the car? How did he come across the money or whatnot? Because, I mean, again, Mr. Brock just got released from prison 2 years ago, and, he's living with Mr. Felix now. So at any point in time, did he ever say, hey, listen, I got this money from doing this? Did you know at the time that Mr. Felix' watch was missing at the time? Did he tell you anything of that sort?
He basically told me that he sold the watch and he was able to buy a car and get some other things as well.
So he admitted to you that he actually sold the watch to get the car?
Yes. Because I wasn't, so he been trying to ask me out for so long, and I really wasn't interested because he don't have shit. So then, finally, he showed up with a car, and he was like, look, I got a car, I'm getting on my feet, I really want to take you out. It don't have to be nothing too casual. So yeah, we went to Waffle House, but he told me all this. That's the
No,
only
Waffle
reason
House
why
was
I
the
went
morning
somewhere with
after.
him. And I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt.
You had
because
cheese
I
eggs
trust
this
my
morning.
friend.
Let's not flex.
So
This nigga,
Alright,
bro.
so-
And randomly, if I ain't got shit and I randomly live with him and I pop up with a new Nissan one day out the blue, you
because
really
he sold
think,
the watch.
who am I gonna sell this watch to? I'm a felon.
He probably
I
took it
can't
down
even
to
sell the
Keisha
watch
house
to
down on
the
Fifth
dope,
Street.
the other dope boys, cause I can't be around the other dope boys. I rented
So
it
now you
cause I heard
follow-
you and your girlfriend Letitia talking about what it take for a nigga to take you out on a date and smash. You gave me my own How to Smash You for Dummies
Brock.
handbook, and
Mr.
I
Brock.
used it, and you ended up looking like a fool.
Mr. Brock.
I'll take it.
I understand that you're trying, to get your message out. I want to hear from the witness right here so that I can come to a conclusion, because it's a mystery right now on what's going on, and there's so much right here that I really gotta dig in a little bit more before I actually get my conclusion. So I guess one more question for the witness here. Okay, so you stated that you was riding around and he told you that the watch that Mr. Felix had, he went and sold that watch. So from that point on, he picked you up in the vehicle. You guys went out. Did you tell Mr. Felix at that time what he had told you, or did you wait?
I waited until
Why
after
you
the
wait?
date.
Why you wait?
Because we on a date. Why am I gonna stop the date and tell him?
Oh no, this your homeboy, this your best friend. You couldn't
my
stop and go
best
to the
friend- and
bathroom.
My best friend knew as soon as the date was over, and we talked about it. Who do you think told him?
I'm sure you did. What else you tell him about that night?
I mean, the important part.
Did you
told
tell
his
him?
wife.
Did you tell him we needed
You
new
ain't
sheets?
shit, period.
Did you tell him
The
we
rest
needed
of it
new
is
sheets?
irrelevant. Who cares?
It ain't. I'm that body count that you ain't gonna get rid of. It's alright.
This nigga.
Oh, you over there
Two
smiling at
minutes. 2 minutes.
No, yo, 2
I
minutes
need
of coughing
silence
back
right
up.
quick. You know what? Because it's these moments right here. And here's the thing about it. It's sad in our community because here it is. We are here in the courtroom because of a watch, a $20,000 down watch.
And I ain't shit. nigga.
That he can't afford.
But here's the thing about
And that
this,
you
right?
can't rock.
Y'all gotta understand something, Mr. Felix, and I'm talking to you because it's times like this in our black community when we have individuals who are sitting around capping out in the streets, Instagram flexing with expensive jewelry, money, all them things there, and here it is, you got people like your cousin who just came home from prison, and it don't sound like, for whatever reason, because there's obviously enough information here to make it seem like there was some extracurricular things going on with you guys to where he feels some type of way that he like, fuck you, I'm just gonna take what's mine. You ain't gonna look out for me like I looked out for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the shit that's owed to me, because it sounds like he put in a lot of work for you. And this is what happened in the streets right here. We get on, right? We get on and shit. We make money. Motherfuckers be out here, trying to show out for the Instagram. The last thing that we notice is that the people that's around us to help us get to where we at they starving. They team, you know, you around here
Well, you
eating.
see, I ain't starving.
You ain't starving, but look at your family is. And this is what happened with a lot of dudes and females. They get on and they don't put their team on. They help them get them where they at. And I understand we're in a courtroom environment, but we're going to keep it real because this is what this is, this street court. So we're going to do street talk right now. So with this street talk, this is what I'm going to tell you the real. But the real talk is this. Before niggas got properties, before niggas own cars, real estate and all that, they out here buying jewelry. You out here with $20,000 Rolex watches and your people starving. They out here hungry.
Okay, because I'm supposed to take care of myself. Not
You take care of yourself, but understand this right here. You got to take care of the people that help you get to where you got. Now, you got a family member that went to prison that put in that work to get you where you needed to be. And where we at in today's society is our community. When we get to this money, we getting this bag, we ain't taking care of our family. We going out, we throwing money in the strip clubs, we throwing money all out in the streets everywhere else, but we ain't taking care of our own. We out here, so you lucky in the situation you at, you lucky he just sold the watch. Because there's other times where your own family members will come in and get you and do much worse. They do worse. That's worse stories out here than just going to a wedding and this watch getting stolen. And understand, it's a possibility that the watch did get taken by Mario. Because again, you know, dudes, they sit on you, they watch you. You out here on Instagram, you on the social media, you flexing and all that. People be watching. I think it was a situation with Pop Smoke. He accidentally left an address on, and look at him now. We ain't trying to be in that no more. We got to learn today that the whole situation is that when we get on, we got to do some better things with wealth. We got to do black wealth. We got to buy properties. We got to buy real estate. We got to start investing in things, because just going out here and throwing money at just jewelry. Gucci don't give a fuck about you.
Nah,
Them motherfuckers got, you see the shit they did with blackface and all that? Don't give a fuck about us. We lining up every single day in the mall, and these motherfuckers don't give a damn about us. But here it is, you got a cousin over here who's starving.
Man, look how big this nigga is. You think this nigga starving?
Nah, they ain't even it.
You weren't saying that shit when I was feeding your ass, was you?
But see, they ain't even it. The thing is that you got, when you get on, and I shouldn't be telling you this from my standpoint, but y'all story is the same story that go on all across the globe in the United States, everywhere, when a person getting money and they out shining and they not putting their team on right. They're not taking care of their people right. You got people that make sure you get to where you need to be.
He ain't never wanted to put.
But that ain't never gonna happen that way. What we gotta understand is that you got to take care of your people. I was 10 years old, and I mean, me and my brother, we hungry as I don't know what. You know, like, man, we got to figure this out. But at a young age, we knew that we had to depend on each other, and we had to move off each other. We knew we had to lift each other up and build a team around what we wanted to do. I learned this at 11 years old, that, man, you don't pay yourself first. You pay everybody else. That's the first principle in business. You pay yourself last. You the boss.
Nah, bro, he get all his stuff.
He the boss. Right now, you the boss. So you don't pay yourself first. You pay yourself last in the situation. You don't go ahead and, you know, be out here and your people out here, they watching you going to the malls with all the bags and all that, and they standing behind you and they rooting you on. But you got to think, one in a situation like that, look what happened. Now this guy come and take what you got, what you endured, because he hurting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dismiss the case, and I'm gonna say that you guys need to work it out. Because here in the end, your man hurting. This your fam. He went to prison on some stuff that sound like y'all was involved in that we not even gonna get too deep in. But what I want to do is tell you two is that y'all become the family and y'all work it out. I don't care what y'all do on the streets, but all I know is lift each other up and keep showing each other love and support each other in what y'all doing. Because if you're gonna do it to the really, or don't do it at all. And that's my verdict.
Fuck that nigga.
We'll work it out. You gonna pay what you owe.
Believe that. Fuck that nigga, like I said.
Alright.
You'll be seeing me real soon, my nigga.
You'll be seeing me real soon.